There's a moment, right before the reaction, where your entire life can shift. Most people don't even notice it. Someone insults them and they explode. A situation gets tense and they crumble. They spend their entire lives reacting to people, to news, to emotions, like puppets on strings. But the Stoics saw things differently. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, wrote in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That strength, that stillness, that's what separates those who rule their minds from those ruled by them. This isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about owning it, commanding it, training your mind to remain still in the middle of chaos. Because once you stop reacting, you start ruling. And when you rule your mind, nothing else can rule you. Number 1, reaction is the language of slaves. Epictetus began life in chains, literally. He was a slave, but his chains didn't break him, they forged him. And what he realized was this: any person capable of angering you becomes your master. When you react to every insult, every rejection, every delay, you are a slave to the world around you. A man who rules his mind doesn't flinch at words. He doesn't boil with rage when plans change. He's not owned by outside forces. He's anchored within. Let others rage, let them gossip, let them scheme. He remains unmoved. That is true power. It's natural to react, but that doesn't make it moral. A dog that barks responds. A kid screams when they are not given food. Yet a Stoic stops. A Stoic looks around. A Stoic makes a choice. Every response is an emotional leash that can be pulled by anyone who can make you angry. And a person who keeps giving in to that pull is not free. He is chained, just like Epictetus was. But he picks his chains, unlike Epictetus. Seneca warned us, "He who makes you angry will defeat you." It's not brave to meet someone's anger. Reflecting stupidity is not a wise thing to do. The man who yells back has already lost his crown. The world has been able to get inside him, change him, and move him around like a leaf in the wind. You weren't born to be moved, though. You were born to stand. As ruler of Rome, Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not over outside events. Know this, and you will be strong." He had many reasons to lose it: betrayal in politics, wars, and the plague. But he knew something that most men don't. The outside world is chaos, but the inside world can be order. It will only work that way if you build it that way. People who slam doors, insult you in traffic, or tell lies about you behind your back will make you choose. It's not whether to fight back, but whether to go down. It's falling to react. It's getting down to the level of someone who wants to make you feel bad. But that's not what you were made for. You were made to be calm when there's a lot going on around you. You were made to either answer clearly or not at all. That's what it looks like to rule your mind. Not because they are afraid, but because they want to be in charge. A man who is in charge of himself doesn't have to argue to win. He wins since he doesn't play. When you are still and don't move, you will find power that no insult, delay, or betrayal can break. To master something, you must first do that. That's how slaves become kings. Number 2, the observer within. There's a part of you that doesn't react. It watches, it knows. It can feel the rising tide of anger or fear or shame and still remain silent. This is the observer. The Stoics trained it daily. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." What does that mean? It means most of our suffering comes from our reaction, not the event. The argument, the traffic, the disappointment, they're just sparks. It's your reaction that lights the fire. Train yourself to observe. Feel the emotion, but don't be owned by it. Step back, watch it rise, and let it pass. Being able to take a step back is the first step to becoming self-masterful. The Stoics called it prohairesis, which means the power of smart choice. Marcus Aurelius kept telling himself, "You control your mind, not events in the outside world. Know this, and you will be strong." He told you that you would find strength, not that you might. Because when the observer wakes up, everything changes. Let us say someone insults you. Right away, you want to protect yourself, lash out, and show them they're wrong. But the observer sees that urge, which looks like a wave on the horizon. You don't jump right in, you wait. You take deep breaths, you stood back and let the wave hit. You'll still be there when it does. Held down, stay calm, in charge. It was Epictetus who told his students, "It's not things that upset us, but how we think about them." The observer has a deep understanding of this. It's not that it doesn't feel anything. It just won't let feeling control it. It sees the anger but doesn't say anything about it. It sees the fear but it doesn't run away. It sees the sadness but stays the same. People today are trained to respond right away to everything, from notifications to insults to changes in plans. The Stoics, on the other hand, learned to move more slowly, stopping for thought, because that's when you connect with your best self. Imagine being on a hill and looking down at a storm. The observer is that. You're not in the chaos, but it's real. You're not going against the wind, you're seeing it. You can choose in that place. You can answer, not just react. The observer of most people is never met. They live on the surface and are affected by all feelings. But the Stoic goes even further. He is uncomfortable as he sits. He hears without having to talk. He breathes through the fire and comes out clean. What you do is not kill the feeling. You grow out of it. You feed the biggest part of yourself every time you watch without responding. So don't do anything the next time you feel that tightness rise in your chest from anger, fear, or stress. Look, hold on, take deep breaths, as long as you follow the rules. Number 3, master the pause. Between the trigger and your response lies the kingdom of the mind. A man ruled by emotion reacts instantly. A man who rules himself pauses, breathes, chooses. Viktor Frankl, deeply influenced by Stoic thought, said, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. That space is sacred. It's the difference between saying something you regret and walking away with your dignity. Practice the pause. You don't have to respond in 5 seconds. A moment of silence can be louder than 1,000 words." When we're under a lot of stress or a disagreement, we often feel like we need to act right away. In traffic, someone cuts you off, a coworker disagrees with your idea, or a friend says something rude that hurts. It can be hard to resist the urge to protect or fight back right away. But what if you didn't respond and instead paused? Instead of reacting right away, what if you took a moment to think about what you were going to do? The Stoics knew that this pause had a huge amount of power. They thought that even though we can't change what happens in the outside world, we can change how we react to it. It's not things themselves that bother us, but our thoughts about them, said Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers. When we react without thinking, outside events have power over us. We get that power back when we stop. We get to decide how to answer. The pause doesn't mean holding back feelings. It doesn't mean ignoring how mad or upset you are. It means being aware of your feelings without letting them take over. You feel your anger rising, but you don't act on it right away. Instead, you make room for it. You take a step back, you take deep breaths, you look around. During that moment, you decide what to do. How do you react? Do you react from a clear and logical place? The way you react shapes the situation, and in the end, forms who you are. You start to move from a place of wisdom instead of emotion when you make the pause a regular habit. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic ruler, often told himself to keep his emotions in check. You have power over your mind, not outside events, he wrote in Meditations. Know this, and you will be strong. We use that power through the pause. You get back in charge of the situation when you step back and don't respond right away. Take some time to think about how this habit can change your life. So many times have you said or done something in the moment that you wish you hadn't? The pause stops you from deciding those things on the spot. Giving yourself time to think about what's going on gives you the chance to react thoughtfully instead of acting on impulse. The break also gives you a chance to look at things wider. You'll start to wonder, why am I acting this way? Do I think it's worth my time and sweat? You start to understand that many things are not important enough to respond to right away. This change in how you think lets you let go of small things and concentrate on what really counts. As you keep doing the pause, you will start to notice a big change in how you live your life. You'll have less control over what other people do and more control over how you react. The pause gives you strength by helping you stay cool, collected, and in the present, no matter what the world throws at you. Number 4. Emotion is a poor commander. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you. Emotion is persuasive. Anger will scream that you've been wronged. Fear will whisper that you're not enough. But emotion should be a signal, not a commander. Let your emotions rise like waves, but let your reason be the shore. If you let emotions steer your ship, you'll crash every time. The Stoics placed logic above impulse, clarity above chaos. You must do the same. Anger is like a strong stream. If you let it, it can pull you under. When something bad happens, like being turned down, insulted, or having plans change without warning, feelings rise. Your muscles tighten up and your heart rate goes up. Right away you want to respond, talk, and fight back. But the Stoic knows that you shouldn't respond at those times. You answer. And that reaction comes from the mind, not the heart. Seneca said, "We suffer more in our thoughts than in real life." Often, our feelings make things worse than they really are. People who are angry make wrongs seem worse. Fear changes the truth. You are chasing shadows if you let your feelings decide what to do. Focus on the truth of the present time instead. What's going on really? What do you have power over? What makes the most sense to do next? This is what the Stoics knew to be wise. They didn't deny having emotions, but they knew that when emotions were not controlled, they could cause bad choices, fights, and chaos. But disciplined reason is like a steady hand on the wheel. Let's say you're having a heated fight. Your feelings want to get worse. They want to fight back to show that you're right and make your point. You don't let your feelings guide you, though. You pause. You take deep breaths. You tell yourself that winning a fight doesn't mean you lose your honor. You don't have to fight to be liked. During that moment, you let your reason lead you. During his time as ruler, Marcus Aurelius did this all the time. In his Meditations, he wrote, "Be like the rocky headland on which the waves break, but it stands firm, and around it the seething water is still." This was written while he was going through wars, betrayals, and personal problems. His thought was steady on reason, so the emotions of the people around him didn't affect it. This is the power of being in charge of your feelings. You are not controlled by how you feel. You take control of them. By doing this, you avoid the pitfalls of regret, hasty choices, and conflict that isn't necessary. Moods will always get worse. That's just how people are. But the quality of your life will depend on how well you can pick which feelings to focus on and how to show them. Use reasoning to guide you. Be clear as you go. Every time you feel very upset, tell yourself, I don't have to make this into something. It doesn't need to bother me. If you keep your cool, you can ride the wave without falling off, because your feelings may rise, but you, who are in charge of your mind, do better. Number 5, not everything deserves a reaction. The world is noisy. People shout to be seen, they provoke, they mock, they bait, but not everything deserves your energy. Seneca said, a sword never kills anybody. It is a tool in the killer's hand. In the same way, an insult is just a sound. Your mind gives it power. Ignore it and it dies. React and you feed it. Sometimes the most powerful response is silence. Let others burn their energy. You hold yours. We live in a world that is constantly filled with noise, both real and imagined. On social media, people fight, rude people say mean things, and even close friends and family can make us angry without meaning to. But the most important thing to remember about mind control is that you don't have to respond to every statement, question, or provocation. The Stoics had a good grasp of this idea. People often quote Epictetus, "What matters is not what happens to you, but how you react to it." These lessons are more important than ever in our everyday lives. In a world where everyone is out to get you, whether it's by insulting, stirring up, or causing trouble, it's easy to get caught up in fights all the time. That's not how the Stoics answer, though. As they would say, don't waste your time on things that don't need it. Think about how many times you've wasted time in a fight that didn't bring you anything. Someone might have insulted you in passing, or a coworker might have questioned your point of view in a meeting. You can do something at that point. What do? Do you put fuel on the fire, or do you let it go out on its own? The strong thing about waiting to act is that you get to decide what happens next. You don't have to get involved in the drama or make things worse. In fact, being quiet is often the strongest reaction. Silence is a true friend who never betrays, says Seneca once more. You're not only protecting your energy by not saying anything, but you're also taking charge of the situation. The person who provoked you isn't getting a reaction from you. You've decided not to let what they say affect you. When you're angry or upset, you might want to lash out to protect yourself or make a point. You feel freer when you take a step back and realize that not everything needs your attention. You free yourself from having to react, and you give yourself the power to only react when it really counts. Don't forget that every move you take is a choice. It's normal to feel upset or offended, but what's important is not to let those feelings decide what you do. You can keep your peace and focus on what's important by deciding not to react. Ask yourself, is this worth my time? The next time someone tries to get you to do something bad, should I spend my time on this? Don't waste your time if the answer is no. Give it up. Number 6, choose to respond, not to react. There's a difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is automatic, it's animal. Responding is deliberate, it's divine. When someone challenges you, don't bite. When life pushes you, don't push back blindly. Choose your move. A true Stoic doesn't act out of rage or fear, he acts from reason. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Simple, clear, strong. Reacting is something that comes naturally. This is what happens when our emotions take over and we're not paying attention. An insult, a complaint, or a challenge can set off an automatic response that is driven by anger, frustration, or fear. We lose power when we act this way. We act based on what's going on around us, and our urges control us. But how you react is different. To respond, you have to think about it. You can choose. To pause, think, and then act with purpose takes time. The Stoics thought that we should never let other people or our feelings control how we act. We should instead answer with clarity, reason, and understanding. Think about your own life for a moment. How often do you act based on how you feel? How often do you say or do something quickly and then feel bad about it later? The Stoics said that we should think things through before moving. Instead of moving without thinking, take a deep breath, look at what's going on, and carefully consider what to do. Today, everyone has an opinion, and feelings are strong. It's simple to get caught up in the cycle of reactions. You want to fight back right away when someone says something hurtful on social media. Marcus Aurelius's words, on the other hand, tell us that we don't have to answer every comment or argument. Don't do it if it's wrong. Don't say something if it's not true. This simple rule can help us get along with each other and avoid fights that aren't necessary. You are in charge of the situation when you choose to reply instead of react. You're not letting your feelings or other people control what you do. You are choosing to act in a way that is honest, makes sense, and has a purpose. Take a step back the next time life gives you a hard time, whether it's because of a difficult person, an unexpected loss, or a tough choice. Do not respond. Answer. Pick your next move based on what you believe is right, true, and in line with your ideals. Your mind gets stronger as you do this more and more. It will feel like your feelings and the world around you no longer have power over you. You'll be able to handle the problems you face in life with peace, knowledge, and calm. Number 7. Control the inner monologue. Your worst enemy often whispers in your own voice. They don't respect me. This always happens to me. I'll never be enough. These are not facts. These are mental habits. The Stoics believe that what we say to ourselves shapes our entire experience. Epictetus told his students, it's not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. Change the thought and you change the reality. Start speaking like a commander, not a victim. I am calm, I am in control. This does not define me. Train your inner voice to serve you, not sabotage you. Everything is shaped by what we say to ourselves. What we think about ourselves, other people, and the world around us is based on it. We think negatively too often, telling ourselves things like, we're not good enough, we can't change anything, or things will never get better. But those thoughts are just lies we tell ourselves. Aside from telling ourselves bad stories, we can also tell ourselves stories that make us feel good. Stoics taught us how important it is to talk to ourselves. They knew that the mind is not just a silent observer of the outside world, but also actively shapes our reality. You will start to think that you are a failure if you keep telling yourself that. Telling yourself that you're not in charge will make you act like you're not. What if you could change the story, though? If you could start telling yourself, I can do this, I'm strong, I am in charge of my feelings and actions. You won't feel this way right away, but with practice, it will change how you live your life. Epictetus often told his students that what bothers us is not what happens around us, but how we respond to it. What we think about things can change if we change the way we talk to ourselves. When bad things happen, we don't have to feel beaten. Instead, we can choose to see them as chances to grow. We don't have to see problems as dangers. We can see them as chances to see how strong we are. If you want to really control your mind, you need to start with the stories you tell yourself. Every time a bad thought comes up, you can replace it with a positive affirmation. When you're having doubts, you should tell yourself of how strong you are and how you can get through them. You should talk to yourself like a Stoic would. You should show yourself the same kindness, understanding, and determination that you would give to a close friend. You are not the mistakes you make. It's not you that you failed. You are strong and can do great things. You also have control over your thoughts. So the next time you notice that you are having bad feelings, stop, ask them something. Are they real? Do they help? Then write the story again. Change "I can't" to "I will." Change "I'm not good enough" to "I am enough." "I am not in control" should be "I am always in control of my response." Make your inner voice help you instead of hurt you. You'll find that the more you control your inner voice, the more control you have over your life. Number 8. Guard what enters the mind. You can't plant peace and water it with chaos. Every headline, every gossip post, every argument online, it all trains you to react. The mind becomes what it consumes. Seneca warned us, associate with people who are likely to improve you. That includes your digital diet. What you scroll is who you become. Clean up your inputs. Follow those who build you. Read things that make you think. Choose silence over noise. The Stoics knew very well how important what goes into the mind is. These people knew that the mind is like a garden. You will get weeds if you plant them. Smart people will grow and give you smart things. But it's easy for confusion to take over in the world we live in now. It never stops with the news. There are algorithms on social media that give you the latest news. It's easy to get caught up in because it's everywhere. But remember that what you let into your mind shapes how you see the world. The soul is colored by the color of its thoughts, wrote Marcus Aurelius. What does that mean? It means that the ideas you think and hold on to will affect how you feel, what you do, and in the end, your whole life. You will see more negativity, anger, and fear in the world if you keep putting that into your thoughts. That's what will come out of you if you feed it with knowledge, reason, and peace. Being aware of your surroundings is one of the best ways to protect your mind. With whom do you spend your time? Are they people who make you feel good and push you? Or do they make you feel tired and feed your fears and doubts? In the same way, think about what you eat every day. Does it work to lift you up or bring you down? What you let into your life is very important. Are you looking at things on social media that make you feel anxious? Or are you thinking about things that help you grow and get clear? Even though the Stoics didn't have social media, they knew how important it was to keep their minds safe. They were very picky about the people they hung out with and the books they read. We still have the same choice today. You get to choose what you let into your life, and that choice will shape who you become. Imagine a world where the only things you read are things that push you, teach you, and make you better. What does that mean for your mind? How would it make you feel? People often choose what they think about in small ways that can make the difference between a life full of chaos and one full of calm. Be careful about what you eat and drink. Keep the noise out of your thoughts. Pick silence over the steady stream of things that could be done. Learn to be wise, clear, and honest. Keep your mind safe like the valuable resource it is by following people and ideas that make you feel better. Number 9. Solitude builds strength. Alone doesn't mean empty. Solitude is sacred. It's where you meet yourself, without distractions, without performance, without noise. Marcus Aurelius would retreat into himself even in the palace. He wrote, "People look for retreats for themselves in the country, by the coast, or in the hills, but nowhere can a man find a retreat more peaceful or more free from trouble than his own soul." Sit in silence. Think. Breathe. Hear the thoughts that surface. That's where mastery is born. Not in chaos, but in stillness. In the quiet moments, you will discover clarity, purpose and a deeper understanding of your mind. It's in solitude that you build the foundation for strength. People often think badly of people who prefer to be alone in our busy world. We're told to always be social and connect with other people, to do something every minute. But real power comes from being alone times. We can hear our own ideas, think about the things we've done, and get smarter in quiet places. The philosopher king Marcus Aurelius knew this very well. He was in charge of a very large kingdom, but he still found time to go inside and find peace. He saw silence not as a way to be alone, but as a way to gain power. It helped him get in touch with his beliefs, think again about what he was doing, and make smart choices. You can let go of the world's stresses and get in touch with your real self when you're alone. It's where you can forget about what other people expect of you and focus on your own growth. You learn to rely on yourself when you spend time by yourself. You learn to be at peace with yourself without the outside world's noise, support, or validation. But this doesn't mean you have to go to a cabin in the woods by yourself, though that might be nice. It just means making room for stillness in your life. Go for a walk without your phone. Every day, take a few minutes to sit still. Pause, think, and take a deep breath. Inside you, this is where your strength grows. So make time alone a normal part of your life. Take pleasure in the quiet times. You'll really get to know yourself in those places, and then you'll find the power that has always been inside you. Number 10. Make calm your default state. True strength isn't loud. It doesn't yell or beg for attention. It walks into a room and owns it, quietly. That's the power of calm. Marcus Aurelius led wars and empires, but he reminded himself daily, be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved. You can train your mind to be that rock. Let chaos swirl around you. Let others lose themselves. You remain rooted. Calm isn't weakness, it's control. It's the highest form of power. In a world full of noise and excitement, peace and quiet are rare. It's a strength inside that doesn't need approval from other people. A calm mind doesn't act without thinking. It watches, thinks about, and decides what to do before it does it. Think about it. The waves crash and the winds howl, but the rock stays put. There is no noise, and it doesn't bend or break. It just stands. This is what Stoic power is all about, staying strong. The Stoics thought that nothing outside of ourselves should be able to make us unhappy. Events in the outside world, other people's views, and life's unexpected problems are like the waves. We can choose to let them move us or not when they crash around us. It's simple to act, especially when things are stressful. When someone cuts you off in traffic or something doesn't go as planned, you might want to act out or show your anger. But this way of life is reactive. It's also very tiring. A man who is always responding is like a ship that is being tossed around in a storm and has no rudder or control. A calm person, on the other hand, is like that rock that won't move. He knows that life will give him problems, but he also knows that he is in charge of his own peace of mind. He doesn't just react. He decides how to answer. He does not let his feelings get the best of him. He instead bases himself on reason, clarity, and his beliefs. Marcus Aurelius keeps telling himself this in his meditations. You have control over your mind, not outside events. Know this, and you will be strong. We take back control of our lives when we stop responding to things that happen around us. The things that happen don't have power over us. What we do. Being calm does not mean being passive. It doesn't mean staying away from conflict or tough conditions. It means keeping your cool and not letting anger, fear, or worry control what you do. It means sticking to your beliefs and not letting outside forces try to shake you up. To be calm, you have to be disciplined. Being self-aware is needed. It gets stronger over time the more you choose to react from a calm place. Soon you'll find that this state of calm is your default, the rock that stands firm in the storm. Remember this the next time life tests you. You don't have to respond. You don't need to lose your cool. You can instead choose to stay peaceful inside, like a rock that doesn't move when the waves hit it. Things will always happen that make you want to respond. Threats. Not fair. Pressure and pain. That being said, the Stoics told us that being free from our own emotions is the best freedom we can ever get. You weren't made to let your feelings control you. You were put in charge of them. Don't react anymore. Start to look around. Pick something out. Take charge of your thoughts right now, not tomorrow. People who are in charge of their thoughts are in charge of their lives. And the world has never had more leaders like that.